Okay, well, we're excited about the transformation we're going to have in terms of our football facilities, not only for, as Bill talked about, for our current players, but obviously for recruiting and what that'll do for our program moving forward. So we're excited about that and the generous donations that we've gotten and for the M Club room. It's going to be fantastic. It's going to be as nice as anywhere in the country. And it doesn't have to be, it's not about the size of it, it's how does it look aesthetically and the function for our team. So we're excited about that, and our team has been practicing now for a week. We'll get another week here and then head off to Dallas on Monday. So again, it's an exciting time here for our football program, not only facility-wise, but the hard work that's gone in to get us to where we are today, and we're excited about the opportunity come the 26th.
What?
Coach, now that you're another day closer to the bowl game, I guess you've got about a week left before you leave. What's kind of your goal for this week in terms of preparation?
All right, so we'll go out today in helmets, and then we'll go shoulder pads tomorrow, and then full pads on Wednesday, and that will be just our stuff. We won't even have started yet on Washington. We will start that Thursday with a walkthrough, so we'll have just a walkthrough on Thursday, and it'll be all Washington offense, defense, special teams. But up until that point, the practices we've had and the practices that we'll continue to have the next 3 days are really just keeping our ones sharp, but our twos are taking the majority of the reps. So we have a 16-play set. Our twos and guys that are returning will take 8 of those. So trying to get a little advanced start on spring ball. So it's been good. It's been good to see those guys practice, and we're taking it a little easier on our ones. Having an extra week preparing for the championship game, they were a little worn down. So we've been doing a good job with that. Zach's done a nice job with that. So, but we'll get cranked back up Thursday and start getting ready for Washington.
One of the things Bill said about the facilities was not taking a backseat to anybody. Can you kind of elaborate on that?
Well, you just got to put yourself in. If you just start with what we're in, and that is that it's recruit, develop, and coach better. It's those 3 things in that order. You got to recruit good players, you got to develop them, and you got to do it better than they do it. Well, let's start off with recruiting. We're talking about sales. We're talking about young people. What do they want to see? They want to see themselves playing in your stadium. They want to see themselves dressing in your locker room. They want to see flash. They want to see excitement. They want to see a commitment to your program and your facilities. It starts with having good players. Second thing is how you develop them. All right, with obviously with what we're doing in the weight room, and then what we're doing in the fueling station in the M Club area, and then how do we provide better services for our student athletes from a nutrition standpoint and a recovery standpoint? That's paramount. So that's where you start. If that's where you start, recruit, develop, the coaching better. Okay, we got that part. Hiring good coaches, that's a whole other animal. But how do you recruit good players that see themselves wanting to come here? And the facilities have changed over the last 15 years. I've said this plenty of times. If you look back 15 years ago, I'll just start what I was before. The difference between Oklahoma State's facilities and Tulsa's at that time weren't that significant. They are today. The differences in facilities of what this was compared to maybe Ole Miss and Mississippi State, wasn't that different. It is today. This is a big step forward in terms of, our locker room is as nice as theirs. Yes, we can do it as well as they do it. Okay, our stadium can look as nice. So all those things that you're trying to at least eliminate those barriers to success.
Coaches, you start preparing for a bowl game with recruiting and everything. I don't know that you've actually had any more extra time, but when you take a look at this Washington team, what sticks out for you?
Well, they played 9 bowl eligible teams, so that the Pac-12's had a really good year. I don't know if there's one dominant team, but they've got a lot of really good football teams. And they're number 1 in scoring defense in the Pac-12, so that stands out. They're good on defense. They're athletic. They've got skilled players, and they're good up front in offense. They've just started a true freshman quarterback. That's been the problem. It's not that they don't have talent, and I think their running back's a true freshman. And so you got that combination of youth on offense, but they've played really good on defense. That's what's kept them in games. And then the last couple of games to get bowl eligible, they moved the ball. So it's going to be a real challenge. Really well-coached team. You can see where they're headed. That they're going to be really good. They're good now, and they're going to be good in the future.
Now that Coach Wozniak's had a few days to be in his new role, what have you, I mean, have you been pleased with that transition?
Yeah, I mean, it's been 3 days or 4 days, so I mean, the transition has been seamless. We're going to run what we run. I mean, I'm an offensive guy. We're going to continue to do what we do. So, and his role hasn't changed that greatly because he's coaching the receivers and Cole's coaching the quarterbacks. So it's just a matter of scripting, and we're just continuing to run what we run. Now we'll see, you know, as we start the game plan, you know, each of these days as we lead up to starting Thursday. So, but he's been fine. He's done this before.
You said earlier in the year that you would be better, and now that you've gone off, you know, through the bowl game or to the bowl game, were there any parts of the team that really were even better than you thought they might be?
I don't know about better. I think where we were thin, we stayed healthy. I think that was probably the biggest thing. You know, other than Mike Thomas at receiver missing the Austin Peay game, we didn't miss any games at receiver of our starters because the backups were all young. They were all freshmen. So where we needed to say, they say in the corner, we lost Trey Collins for a little bit, but Kalen got banged up at the end. But up until that point, Cornell didn't miss a game. He didn't miss a game. So we were thin in those two spots, and we stayed healthy. We said, okay, we can take hits other spots, but we didn't there. Nick's been healthy. You know, so those for the most part up front on offense, we've been healthy. So that's the key. We got banged up pretty good the first couple of years here. We didn't have the same depth. You know, so that was big. We had better depth, more talent. We stayed healthy. That's a pretty good recipe to having a good year.
Coach, I know you probably answered this question with the local media 100 times, so forgive me, but having your players rebuild this program, a lot of times programs don't get a chance to enjoy the fruit that the players are gone before the program, you know, gets back to the top. For your players, they're experiencing that right now, so how rewarding is that for you, for those guys who, when at the lowest of lows, will be able to experience the highest of highs now?
Well, it's what you do it for. It's for the players. You never forget that, you know, you have a job for the players and creating the best version you can of them. And so I've won lots of games. I've lost lots of games. And so that's where it all starts is, are you doing it for them? That's what, there's nothing like seeing, I always say it all the time, seeing your players excited in the locker room, singing the fight song, smiling, laughter like your own kids. And the whole bowl system was set up as a reward for your players, all the hard work they put in, and really for the families of the coaches. To me, that's what it's always been about. For our coaches, we just take our show on the road, and we still have the same job. We've got to score. We've got to stop them. We're trying to win the game. You're trying to keep 100-something guys in the hotel, you know, in terms of curfew, which is always difficult, you know, but it's about their time. It's about their fun. It's about our families enjoying. We put so much of our time into it, spend so much time away that they get a reward around Christmas. So I'm excited for them. I'm excited for our players, especially the older players that, you know, went through the few years that we had here. And because it's, I don't care what level, winning's good, losing stinks. And to have to see them enjoy it and the work they put in, because it wasn't like we didn't work. It wasn't like the previous groups didn't work. We just we weren't as efficient as we are now.
You mentioned Christmas being out there for that time of year. Do you guys have anything special planned for the players?
You mean like Santa coming, or like the reindeer, or anything like that? I don't know. We have plenty of things that are great for the players. You know, to me, the biggest thing is that I really believe this. I don't think they're going to remember whether Santa was there or whether we went bowling or we went and played video games. What they're going to remember is each other. In life, it's really about who you're with, not really what you're doing. And so we've got a special group of guys that have enjoyed being around each other, and it's those moments being together that they'll remember most about any bowl game.
Coach, kind of rewinding just a little bit, you talked about how important it was for you to stay healthy at certain positions this year. With these new improved facilities in the weight room and the nutrition, how is that going to help you stay healthy or be better in that respect moving forward?
I don't think any of that's going to help us be any healthier. I mean, do I think it helps us more in recruiting? Yes. Do I think that the products that you put in those buildings, I think, help you? You bet. And I've tried as much for the money that we have available. And Zach is always talking to me about things we can do better for our guys' recovery, what we can do to get them back quicker, which I'm all for. Same in terms of nutrition. The building itself, nothing. Everything you put into it in terms of nutrition, in terms of supplements, in terms of things for their body, has everything to do with it.
What kind of chip on the shoulder remains from the Western Kentucky game, and how are you guys going to carry that over to the bowl game?
I don't know as much of a chip on our shoulder. I don't. It's hard. I mean, you get that close. I don't know how the players are, but it's difficult. You get that close and you feel like you're good enough and you don't play your best. It's right there for you. A couple of opportunities that we had, and to let it unravel like we did is just frustrating. That's part of it. Whenever you get to a championship game, you don't win. You try to figure out what we can do better next moving forward when we get that opportunity again. So I don't know if there's a chip on our shoulders. I think our guys are looking forward to the bowl game. I think at this moment they're just excited and want to know how much money we get, what the curfew is, what gifts we're going to get, and what's Dallas like. Okay, when we get there, we'll figure out, now it's how do we get them back in. Like, there is a game. That is part of the reason we're going, is there is going to be a football game. So, but that is part of it. I want them to enjoy it, but the other thing you will remember besides who you're with is a bowl victory. And what that does is you move forward to the next year, winning your last game, and that taste in your mouth as you leave the field, especially our seniors, last time with a victory.
Nick went from being in a quarterback competition in preseason supposedly to conference offensive player of the year. What got him from point A to point B?
Well, part of it was the quarterback competition. You're allotted 85 scholarships, and the more of those 85 that are talented guys that push the other players, the better you're going to be. That's all part of it. You want a really good team, have 85 scholarship guys you like, and have everybody have to be at their best every day to play. When you get that, you got a chance. Along with the other things we always talk about, that's a start. So that started it. Like, all right, he's seen Tyler throw it. Tyler's a good player, and there was a quarterback competition, and Nick won it. And Tyler's a good player. We could win a lot of games with Tyler as our quarterback. I feel bad for him because he's a good player, came here to play, but Nick just played better, and that's been proven. So I'm happy for Nick. He's worked awfully hard at it. We played better around Nick. Nick's gotten older. Nick's matured, and we played better around him.
Do you see more confidence in him?
I think he's always been confident, but I do think the better players play around him. I think it's easier to gain confidence. Confidence that you're going to have time to throw it. Confidence in where the routes are going to break off and your timing with players. Confidence stems from all of those things, not only your internal belief, but others around you that they'll make plays and who I can throw it to and that I'm going to be protected.
With the win against UW, how great would that be to build on going to next season, also using that in your recruitment pitch?
Sure. No, it's very few teams anymore. It really absolutely stinks that the way the bowl setup is now, where you have very few non-Power 5, whatever that is, with the Power 5 to get to play each other. I think that absolutely stinks, to not have that opportunity to where it's matched up where they play each other and the other 5 play each other. I think that's terrible. It's an injustice to the other teams to not have an opportunity. We have one of those opportunities, and we're excited about it. And we want to play Division I football. Okay, we're going to get to play a really good Washington team with a heck of a football coach that has done it at another place and is doing it there. So we're excited. I'm excited as a coach. I get to go up against a really, really good football coach, and I challenge myself. How do I do it better than he does it? How do our players do it better than they do it? And that's the thing. But I'm excited for our players. We wanted to go there. We wanted to be in a position to play a team from a Power 5 conference, and we got it.
Anything else?